Welcome back to This Ain't a Scene, It's a Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Carson, and there's someone else in the room with me.
Holy crap. It's me, Dawson, your
How'd
other
I do?
host.
How'd I do on the
Pretty
intro?
pretty good.
Okay, cool. How are you doing, buddy?
I'm alive,
We hung out
thriving.
for like 40 minutes before recording, so I know.
I mean, we're just kind of going through the motions with that
Yeah,
question,
yeah,
honestly.
yeah.
Like, you already know how
Yeah.
I'm doing. I already know how you're doing.
Bad.
Yeah.
Not great, honestly. There's like
Could
a
be
bunch
better.
of bullshit in my life happening right now. I don't want it to stop, so.
Yeah. You know what else was bad?
Well, I mean, so I've been lovingly referring to this episode this week as Hater Week for
Yep.
this podcast. And I think it's the only thing that's getting me through the dog shit life stuff that I'm dealing with at the moment.
It's being a world-class hater.
Being a world-class hater of things. Yeah, I don't know. So I think I wanted to start off by asking you, like, you said you on the first episode you said you got into Panic at the Disco, like a little before Fall Out Boy.
Way before Fall Out Boy.
Okay, well, we'll get into that in a second.
Yeah.
Wow, you put me in the host seat, and I just lost like all my like. I'm just like, oh, what do I say?
It's
How
harder
do I
than it
segue?
looks, huh?
Like, what do I do? Hey, everybody. What I was trying to say in this portion of the show is that if you don't know, Panic at the Disco played their final show about a week ago. And then the conversation after this that follows my little interstitial here is Dawson and I talking about the final set list. Unfortunately, I had some mic issues. We figured it out finally. But yeah, I said all that information, and it was just super choppy, and it sounded really bad. So sorry about that, everybody. Because Viva Las Vengeance came out, which I don't know about you, but to me, the end of the band had been coming for a long time.
Yeah.
The end of Panic at the Disco had been coming for a long time. I'd say that most of the core fan base, like the diehard day ones, including myself, I would not call myself a day one, but I did go to the Vices and Virtues tour. I did buy that album on release day, on CD. So I don't totally consider myself a day one, but a pretty big fan of the earlier work.
Yeah.
I think they lost those people probably about 2 albums ago, maybe even 3 albums ago with Death of a Bachelor. Because that's like where I would officially say that I dropped off. I liked like maybe 2 or 3 songs on that
That's
record.
fair to say.
And I think the failure of Viva Las Vengeance was like the final nail in the coffin. Like, you are alienating the fans that also liked your, pop leaning stuff.
Yeah.
You lost the core fan base. You lost the normies. It's only the stans that like this record, it seems. Like for every like 100 hate comments about Viva Las Vengeance, I see like one like Viva Las Vengeance was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so like from my perspective, this was coming. And the day the album came out, I believe I said it to a couple friends of mine. I was like, this is the final nail in the coffin. They're done. Like, there's no way this album sells well. A. There's no way this tour sells very well. B. And then people were like ridiculing him singing that song from Frozen, I think, because that was in the set list for some reason.
He put a fucking... It's a cover version of that song, because like I think his version maybe comes up in the credits, but he did a couple of those. He did one for The Greatest Showman, where he covered the greatest show for the soundtrack.
Yeah.
And for some fucking reason, he put the Frozen cover in his set list, which, like, yeah, man. I mean, you did do that song, but this isn't like a Bohemian Rhapsody situation where you'd already been performing that one, and then like
Yeah.
you got the chance to
Yeah.
do it for Suicide Squad, so like it made sense that you played it live. This is just it's a Frozen song
Yeah.
for babies.
It's a baby song. What are you doing? That eventually got pulled from the set list too.
Yeah.
Because so they started out the Viva Las Vengeance tour, playing the album all the way through after like, and they would like bookend it with like two, quote unquote, like
Classics.
not classics, greatest hits. I'd say like
High hopes.
biggest hits. So, you know, already not off to a great start that tour.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think that there were a lot of tickets that just weren't moving very well. So I think they pulled back and they were like, no, let's, you know, throw something else into the set list. And instead of it being like a song that everybody liked, they played the Frozen song. And I want to say like one of a Pray for the Wicked song in place of another Viva Las Vengeance song. All the Viva Las Vengeance songs are short. I found out today. So anyway, before we get into this, how did you come into liking Panic at the Disco?
Well, before we get into that, just want to remind our listeners, yes, this is a Fall Out Boy podcast. It's just this song that we're talking about this week, Bob Dylan, kind of fucking sucks. We don't really have a lot to say about it.
Yeah.
So we figured we would get to some other scene happenings.
Sure.
And since we have literally not gone an episode without talking about Brendon Urie,
the king of Showtunes,
the king of Showtunes
himself,
we figured we would continue that streak since crossover between Panic fans and Fall Out Boy fans is pretty high.
I think this is in related interests.
It's definitely related.
It's related news to the show.
Yeah.
And I think that if we were going to talk about any associated band's final show, it's like Panic, and maybe I would associate like I don't know,
21 Pilots, maybe.
21, yeah.
Because it's like
if 21 Pilots announced that they were playing a final show, we would probably talk about it.
Yeah, because that'd be like shocking.
Yeah, I'm calling this episode "The King of Showtunes: The Funeral," and then the next time we talk about him, it'll be "The King of Showtunes: The Autopsy."
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So anyway, how did you come to them?
So I was in like, I must have been like 13, 12 or 13.
Okay.
And my friend at the time, because from school, I didn't go to like public school. I was or private school. I went to homeschool co-ops.
Ooh.
If you know what those are.
I kind of went to something similar.
For our listeners who don't know what those are, it's a place where a bunch of homeschoolers get together once or twice a week, usually twice, and do school there. Just so that like they don't grow up completely stunted or whatever. So my friend tells me one day, she's like, hey, have you heard of this band Panic at the Disco? And I had the most exposure I had to Panic was on Tumblr, because I was on Tumblr as a child.
As but a boy.
And I had seen the same GIF from This Is Gospel, like the music video where Brendon is like sitting up and going, "If you love me, let me go," like because he sings like that.
Yeah. Let me. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel you.
I'd seen that same GIF, and I imagined his voice being like super high, because it just kind of looked like it would be. Then my friend tells me to listen to Panic, and I believe my first album I listened to by them was Too Weird to Live, which opens with This Is Gospel.
Yes,
and then I heard his voice, and I was like, oh, it's like way deeper than I imagined it would be. It's still not a deep voice, but it has kind
Sure.
of like that
Sure.
that timbre to it. Timbre.
Timbre. It's
Hardly
going
know her.
down.
I'm yelling timbre. Hardly
That's
know
right.
her.
Yeah.
And I heard that, and I was like, oh, this guy's voice is actually kind of interesting.
Yeah.
So I listened to all 4 of his albums that were out at the time.
Yeah.
In the same day, and I remember texting my friend and being like, I don't dislike a single one of these songs.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, that's never happened to me with a band before. And then since then, it was just Panic was like all I listened to.
Sure.
And that didn't stop until fucking, I don't know, I must have been like 17.
Did you see them at all?
No, because I didn't.
Really? Okay.
I was like terrified of live shows up until I was like 18. Just because, like,
I did not know this about you.
yeah, right. Kind of surprising.
As
little
a now
factoid.
touring musician, that is very funny.
But up until around then, there was just like too many people there.
Okay.
I could not handle it.
No, I get that. Yeah.
So I didn't see them live. I didn't see fucking Owl City live, which I also really loved back then.
Yeah.
A lot of bands I didn't see during some of their prime eras, just because like I didn't feel like I could go. So still haven't, and probably won't see Panic live for another like 10 years.
Maybe. Yeah, we'll see. First of all, I think we should acknowledge this is not the final Panic at the Disco show.
No.
Like, that's not what's happening.
No.
Like, they can say final show all they want. That is not what is happening at all.
Mm-hmm.
The second Brendon Urie wants to, like, buy a new car, or more accurately, like, buy a new house, absolutely Panic comes back for a When We Were Young style festival.
Yeah. Playing all the hits. Viva Las Vengeance front to back.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, so let's get into this fucking set list. It'll be a combo episode. It'll be half this, half Fall Out Boy song.
Yeah. And we're getting this out of the way first because fuck you.
I mean, we could switch them around, I guess.
We're already into it.
We're already into it.
Who cares?
I didn't think about this very hard. Very clear. You gave me the host seat, and I obliterated it. So, so I was a little wrong on what happened with Viva Las Vengeance. They played it all the way through. This entire tour,
Holy
the American
fuck.
leg and the UK leg, they played all of it front to back at every show. Into the Unknown was just added for one Texas date and then simultaneously removed because it got so ridiculed on the internet.
Jesus Christ. And a little fun fact as to why we're getting into this, partially is because there was a tweet that announced what the final set list was.
Yeah.
And everyone was giving it shit on Twitter. So I put together a playlist on Spotify.
You texted me in all caps, "Are you man enough?"
I put together that playlist and I called it the Final Panic Set List Challenge. Really rolls off the tongue.
Final. I couldn't even get to the second word.
Yeah.
Final Panic Set List Challenge. Final pet lick.
Yeah, and I
pet
believe
lick. That was the word I got to.
Pet lick, Jesus.
Yeah,
and
geez.
I believe it's my like second or third most popular tweet on the Bummer Hill account.
Nice. So it was a banger.
It was a banger, honestly.
Nice,
banger tweet. And I guess no one had done that yet, even though the tweet had been up for like 3 hours.
Yeah, no one had put the playlist together.
No one had the balls to put all these songs in sequential order in a Spotify playlist.
Well,
but I did.
You and I had a little lunch when you got here, and I was like, "So, how man were you?" And you were like, "Oh, I didn't do it." And I was like, "You motherfucker!" Because you'll never guess what I did today, folks.
Oh no!
I did this not once, but twice
Holy
today
fuck.
to be prepared for this.
You did it. You should have told me that you wanted to talk about this on the episode.
I did tell you. I texted you.
You said it was the Patreon episode, which we haven't set up yet.
But then you said, all right, you know what? You're right. You're right. This is on me. This one's on me. What do you think of this set list? Just like
Dog
initial
shit.
impressions.
Dog shit. Terrible.
All of it? All of it?
Not all of it, but just like, because obviously there's songs in here that I like. But
yeah, let's start there.
So the songs that I like off of this set list. First, I'm going to say each of the songs in the set list so people get.
We should probably do that. We should probably do that.
So it starts out with "Say Amen" Saturday Night,
which I did not hate. I hadn't heard
controversial.
So I literally hadn't heard it since like that album came out, and listened to it twice today, and I was like, this song isn't half bad. It's got some stuff in there that
it's probably one of the better ones off of "Pray for the Wicked."
I mean, it just sounds like the Death of a Bachelor, like kind of like ominous key thing, and it's like, all right, I can stomach this. Yeah. You know, I stomached the Death of a Bachelor tour. I can stomach this record. You know.
So it goes from there to "Hey Look Ma, I Made It," then "Don't Threaten Me with a Good Time," "This Is Gospel," "Miss Jackson," "Emperor's New Clothes," the entirety of "Viva Las Vengeance," which is "Viva Las Vengeance," "Middle of a Breakup," "Don't Let the Light Go Out," "Local God," "Star Spangled Banner," "God Killed Rock and Roll." The
song is called "Star Spangled Banger," by the way.
Oh shit, I have never read it like that until literally just now. "Say It Louder," "Sugar Soaker," "Hardly Know Her," "Something About Maggie," "Sad Clown," "All By Yourself," and then "Do It to Death." And then directly following that whole album is "Girls, Girls, Boys," then into "House of Memories," "9 in the Afternoon," "Death of a Bachelor," "I Write Sins Not Tragedies," "Victorious," and closing out the set,
the last song they ever play.
The last song they ever played. Not really.
Ever in quotes. Yeah.
"High Hopes."
So by this point, I had Stockholm Syndrome from all of Viva Las Vengeance. And by the time "Girls, Girls, Boys," which is a song I don't really like, by the way. I kind of think that song sucks. Not sucks. It's just like, it's one of the weakest cuts on that record. By the time I got to "Girls, Girls, Boys," I was like, thank God. Not only home stretch, but I enjoy this song.
Yeah.
I enjoy this song more than I enjoyed the previous 12. Or 13. I don't know how many are on Viva Las Vengeance.
Too many.
I think it's 12.
Too many.
I think off the top of my head it's 12. But
let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12. Yeah,
wow. Off rip.
I can't count.
You sure can. Yeah, so I was thinking about this in the context of like a live show and like what it's like to be an audience member. And I did watch some footage from this show. I went deep on this research. God damn. Deeper than I went for the Fall Out Boy song we're doing today. So I saw some footage from this. Brendon looks very bored.
Really?
The whole time.
Was this footage from the actual last show?
Yeah.
Oh,
the last show. He lets the crowd sing almost the entire first verse of "I Write Sins Not Tragedies," and then I believe lets them sing most of the second verse too. It's like half of the first verse and then most of the second verse. So he doesn't want to sing that song.
To be fair to him, it's been around for a fucking while.
Yeah, but
he's played it at every single show.
I know. It's just
I get it, but just sing the song.
I know. Yeah, like that song is the reason why your band became anything.
Yeah.
The record that it's on, banger record.
True.
One of my favorite records ever.
So
maybe
real.
in my top 10 even, because I love that album so much. I think it's fucking brilliant. And that band would be fucking nothing without that record. So,
I would understand more if that was Panic's like only hit.
Sure.
But
sure.
it's definitely not.
It's not at all.
Because I just watched I've been watching this show Poker Face on Peacock.
Oh yeah.
It's really
good.
It's really good.
I can't stand the Peacock app, but
That's
I'll brave
totally
through
fair.
it if you say it's good.
But
I trust you.
It was created by Ryan Johnson, and it's a mystery
Never mind,
show.
I'm out now.
No. Listen. It's a mystery of the week show. It's like Columbo.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, it's like a mystery of the week show, and the conceit is it's around this girl who can always tell when somebody's lying.
Yeah.
100% of the time.
That's fun.
And it's really interesting because it gets into like sometimes she tells people this fact about herself that she shouldn't tell.
Yeah.
So then those people have to find creative ways of always telling the truth while not revealing what they're actually doing.
Okay.
And it's super interesting. But there was
that sounds cool.
Yeah, it's cool as hell.
I honestly think Ryan Johnson might work better as a TV
I love
guy.
Like it's hard for me to watch any of the sequel Star Wars movies at this point, or even like think
too.
about them. But I love Knives Out and Glass Onion. I think those movies.
I did not like
awesome.
Glass Onion, but I did like Knives Out quite a bit.
I heard a lot of people not like Glass Onion. Definitely not the majority, but
it felt like a. I mean, we can get into this another time or off pod. We can just fist fight about it. But for me, Glass Onion was like a. It was like a 5 out of 10. I enjoyed everything I was looking at, but I could not wait for it to end. It was one of those things where I'm like, I love Janelle Monáe.
Mm-hmm.
She's a gorgeous woman.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say one of my celebrity crushes, Janelle Monáe, big, real up there.
Shout out Janelle Monáe.
Shout out Janelle Monáe, future guest of the pod. The feature on Fun's We Are Young. Brendon Urie. Fuck. Daniel Craig.
Your mind is poisoned. Your mind is poisoned.
The king of Showtunes has looped himself in.
He has invaded your brain.
Daniel Craig is so fun as that character, and choose scenery as that character, that it's like, I'm having such a good time.
Best part about the movies.
The rest of it, I just, I also think Dave Bautista severely underused, but that's the case for every Dave Bautista role, because I think he is fantastic and he needs to be in more stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, what made you talk about this show?
Yeah, so one of the episodes centers around a metal band who had a one hit, and then like their career is just in the shitter. Like they're going on like like they used to be in like stadiums and shit, but now they're going on bar tours and all that, because like they just couldn't replicate.
I worked with a guy at Guitar Center who was in a really big, or who was in an 80s hair metal band that had one huge hit.
Mm-hmm.
They never quite lived it down. Sorry, continue.
That's side note. Huge fear being in a band, just like
big time.
Having that happen. But it's that episode got me thinking about just like the concept of being a one hit in general, because like throughout that episode they fucking hate playing that hit.
That's
because
fun.
Like they talk about like the first time they ever heard it, and it was like lightning running through their body. They're like, oh, this is a hit.
Yeah.
Like this is a really good song. And now they're just like, they hate it so much because they can't replicate it.
Sure. But that's not the case with Panic.
That's not the case with Brendon Urie.
This is what I've always said. And it was before Paramore did it. So just, before anybody's like, writing into the show being like, you're an idiot, which I know you're going to do anyway, which is fine. But I've always said, just be like, hey, this is the tour for this record. This is what we're promoting, etc. However, this is going to be the last time we play this song for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And no one would get mad at you.
Yeah.
Nobody would be mad.
They would get a little mad, but they'd at least it would be expected. Get a little mad
in the future, I guess. But it's just like, listen, you had your chance. Mm-hmm. We told you it was the last time we were playing this song, for a little while. And Paramore did that with Misery Business. And I mean, I had a bit of a viral Misery Business tweet yesterday. So,
I did see that one.
yeah. No one really got mad at me. There were a couple that were just like, what are you talking about? It's their only song. And I was like, all right.
Yeah, you need to listen to more Paramore songs.
That's another band who we'd talk about it if it was their final show. Anyway. But like Paramore did that with Misery Business. I don't think anybody's complained since. And again,
they did bring it back.
Huh?
They did bring it back.
They bring it back here and there, but like, you know, I think it's because they want to like it again. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like, I don't think Brendon Urie wants to like any of those songs again. And my theory is there's like some serious guilt regarding who is not in the band anymore. And he just doesn't want to revisit that. And I understand that because, like, you know, he's a 35-year-old man at this point, maybe a little bit older than that, 38 or maybe.
Something
I don't
like
know.
that.
Something like that.
He's in his 30s.
He's in his 30s. And, like, I get it. You don't want to revisit that. You don't want to go back to this time in your life. That is totally fine.
Mm-hmm.
But your tickets are expensive as shit.
Yeah.
Please play Time to Dance, for God fucking sake.
God. Please play anything from Vices. For
no.
God's
Oh my
sake.
gosh. Can we talk about that?
There's
not a single
song.
Not even Ballad of Mona Lisa.
Mm-mm.
God damn, that made me so mad.
Not even Ready to Go. Which, like, I
Coke
would have
commercial song.
at this point.
Ratio, worst song on that record. Sorry.
You might be right.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like it, but of all the songs on that record, it's the one I would have expected him to play the most.
I guess so. That was a pretty big hit for them, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was a pretty big song.
Like moderately sized hit. And like it is the most in line with the shit that Brendon is doing now.
Yes, that I would agree with. Yeah. I think that song's verses are like obnoxiously better than the choruses. The verses are so good in that song. And I just don't like the fucking Coke commercial bells. Like, yeah. I think it literally was used for a Coke commercial too.
Probably.
Do you ever think about how that's not the intro to that album? I think about that constantly. It's such an easy album intro that it's like, why would you not make that the first song on the record?
Fun fact, that album, because I've been listening to it for almost 10 years at this point,
mm-hmm.
I have never thought about the sequencing for that album.
Oh, it's bad.
Yeah.
That's the thing, is it's like, it's one of their best records. I think it literally is their second best record.
That's crazy. I'm gonna say, in my opinion.
Oh, really? I think it's their second best. It really fucks me up that like the sequencing is so bad. Yeah. I don't listen to that album in order.
Let me look at the sequencing for that.
It's pretty bad. But yeah, there's not a single Vices and Virtues song on this set list. And my guess is probably because 12 is a big number.
Mm-hmm.
My band, even when we're headlining, does not play 12 songs at the moment.
I don't think Bummer Hill has ever played 12 songs at a show.
I don't think Dowboys has either. I think the most we played is 11. We played 11 in Kansas City on this past tour.
Yeah, this just off the Spotify playlist, this set list is almost an hour and a half long.
Yeah, that's pretty standard for a band that's of their size headlining.
Mm-hmm.
Hour and a half though, 12 songs. That is like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And any of those songs could be swapped out with a Vices and Virtues song.
Yeah.
Just give us one, Brendon.
Give us
what are you doing, brother?
Even Let's Kill Tonight. I bet that shit goes crazy live.
As somebody who went to the Vices and Virtues tour, yes, it did.
God damn.
I'm
looking
sick.
at the sequencing to that album now.
It's bad.
And yeah.
It's bad.
It's pretty bad.
It makes no sense.
Why is always like the fourth to last song? That's like a second to last song vibe.
Yeah. Or that might be the worst song on that record. Because now that I'm thinking about Ready to Go, I'm like, yeah, you know what? I can get down with the Coke commercial music.
Yeah, honestly, of the Coke commercial songs of the world, Ready to Go is one of the better ones.
But it's in the middle of the fucking record.
It's in the middle.
It's after Trade Mistakes, which makes no sense.
Yeah, Trade Mistakes, like, even though like it's a dramatic ass song. And like lyrically, one of like the lyrical intent on that song is like sort of heavy, honestly,
Yeah,
for
no.
Panic, and then it just goes fucking bow now now, just wah now
Yeah.
right after.
Well, like if I think about how Ready to Go is, there's only 3 songs in between Ready to Go and Nearly Witches.
Mm-hmm.
Nearly Witches.
Closer.
Does Brendon not like playing that song? I actually know the answer to that. Brendon does not like playing that song, but I don't know.
What a song, Nearly
What a good
Witches.
song.
What
What
a
a good song.
fucking banger.
Okay, so back to this fucking dog shit set list.
Mm-hmm.
Hey Look Ma, I Made It. Maybe one of the worst songs ever. Like I'm not even joking. Like it's that song fucking sucks. Although Pray for the Wicked, is that when Dallin leaves? Is that when Dallin is like out?
I think so.
I think because they've had that woman playing bass for them for a little while. They've had that lady.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to call her a girl. I don't know why. My mind was just like, don't say girl, don't say girl, don't say girl. And I was like, fuck. Yeah. I think that's officially when Dallin leaves. And because I don't know if you know this, but High Hopes, I listened to a podcast episode on it, I think, where like High Hopes was written because a bunch of like Hollywood songwriters got like a cabin together and they just decided they were going to write like 10 songs in like a few weeks.
Huh.
And High Hopes was one of those. I feel like there's another big one in there somewhere, but
probably.
I know High Hopes, which is arguably Panic's biggest new song. Would you say?
It definitely is.
Yeah. I mean, Trump used it in his campaign. How much bigger can you get?
Why the fuck did he do that?
It's so funny. It's funnier to think of Joe Biden doing it, but yeah. Anyway, yeah, it's I don't know. So like, Pray for the Wicked, I feel like they bring in a lot of co-writers.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like Brendon doesn't want to write those songs on that record. That's the only record where it feels like he just showed up to the studio and was like, "What's the song? Sure, I'll figure this out. Whatever." Yeah.
Honestly, even though Hey Look Ma, I Made It is like so dog shit, the video kind of backs you up on this. Because
how do you mean?
The music video for that song is
I wouldn't dare watch it.
It's honestly not that bad.
Okay.
It's the whole concept is Brendon is a literally they make him a puppet. He is literally a puppet being controlled by the music industry and like getting into fucked up situations. And like it's not like the best video, but as like an insight into why he would have done that, it perfectly lines up with the album. And like gives the song kind of a like a macabre like reevaluation. Like, did he make it? He does not seem to be having any fun.
Yeah.
And this video is like depressing.
It is the most soulless record that they've made. I mean, like, this is just a hot take. That is like a spicy take. I think Viva Las Vengeance is better than Pray for the Wicked.
I agree.
And I found that out today when, like, because whenever a Pray for the Wicked song would come out, I'd be like, I'm gonna shoot myself. Like,
I'm going to rip my own head off.
I'm gonna go into traffic just like right now. So I hate Hey Look Ma, I Made It. That song sucks. Then the song from Death of a Bachelor, I said I really liked.
Mm-hmm.
Don't Threaten Me with a Good Time. I think I still like this song.
I like it. I like it.
It is Tumblr bait. Like it is made so that 14-year-old girls can put the lyrics into GIFs. Mm-hmm. That is what this song is made for.
The music video is also Tumblr bait. If you've ever seen it.
And that's fine. Yeah. In his bag, leaning into it. That's fine. Yeah. I don't care.
Based as hell.
A very clear Dallin instrumental too, I believe. And then let's talk about where I started to think that this wasn't going to be so bad. Which is This Is Gospel and Miss Jackson. Reminded me of a time when this band had live drums. And their songs were still pretty cool. And so one thing I really, really noticed about this particular listen through was because this band started off incorporating theatrical things and like maybe unconventional instruments, things that you would hear more in like Baroque music and stuff like that. That opened them up to this world of being the band, like Showtunes, the band, which I think is the real tragedy of like what direction their music went in, is because Vices and Virtues, they're still like fucking weird bells and like, psycho top hats and stuff. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like when I'm like listening to Vices and Virtues, I feel like I'm a Joker with a top hat.
They had like the steampunk aesthetic going on in that album cycle too.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, if anything, I'd say that it was kind of always there. Like it made sense for them. Like that evolution made a lot of sense for them. There's the fucking like clav thing on goddamn Let's Kill Tonight. Like it's awesome. But like this is too, let's see if I can do it, Too Weird to Live, Too Rare to Die.
Yes.
Fuck yes.
You
Finally,
got it.
I got it. That's the first time I've gotten it right on this show. That's when everything shifts. And like what do you think of This Is Gospel? Because I think it's a pretty good song.
I like it. Yeah. I like it. It's
I don't think it's that bad.
No, not at all. It's the lyrics are like kind of waffly. I think they beat around the bush too much for what the song is allegedly about.
What is the song allegedly about?
Brendon said he wrote it about Spencer and like his drug problems and like.
Oh, I didn't.
I
think I knew that, but I don't glean that at all off of this.
I don't pick up on that at all from the lyrics themselves, but whatever.
Did I tell you I think I was at the last show that Spencer played?
Really?
I think so, because he dropped off that tour with Fall Out Boy and 21 Pilots like I think a week after I saw him.
Damn.
So I was at like one of the last Spencer Smith shows. Anyway.
Shout out Spencer Smith, honestly.
Shout out Spencer. What are you doing, buddy? Come on the show.
Come on the show.
That's bold of a guy who is clearly on cocaine to write a song about this, but that's fine. Yeah,
I mean, whatever. Because it very clearly had more of an effect on Spencer than any of Brendon's drug issues.
Yeah, for sure.
If he has them, I don't know if he's ever been public about any of that, so that could just be us speculating.
Every time I see an interview with him, I'm like, that is how someone who just did coke talks. So
alternatively, theater kid.
Also that, yeah. Also, yeah, annoying. There you go.
But I like This Is Gospel a lot.
I think that's a good song. I think Miss Jackson slaps too. I think that like might hold up as like one of their best. Not top 10, but like close.
Only thing I don't really like about Miss Jackson is just like the chorus is kind of like is very simple. And just him saying Miss Jackson over and over again isn't like the most compelling, but I really like the verses on that song.
Yeah, no, it's cool. Well, and also where will you be waking up tomorrow morning?
That's cool. Like
that's
just
tight.
That album really has a lot of moments where they have like millennial whoops and like big soaring choruses and whatever, and it works.
Yeah.
Like that's like the only time that it really worked on a Panic album.
I agree. Yeah. And I don't know, like when we're talking about songs that just like aren't on this set list, like where is Vegas Lights?
Yeah.
That song is great.
Dude, like this whole fucking shit ass album he put out just now is about Vegas. Mostly.
Yeah.
Where's Vegas Lights?
I mean, and that song is such a jam. It's got the millennial woos on it, but I like them on that song.
Yeah.
Weirdly enough.
It has a really good energy to it.
I listened to that song willingly after I did this. Probably again, because I think I had Stockholm syndrome. But and then let's talk about Emperor's New Clothes because
banger.
Dude, yeah.
Banger.
No, for real. I had forgotten about this song entirely. This song is good. It's got, I'm going to say it, it is the best post Spencer chorus.
Yeah.
It might even be the best chorus since Vices and Virtues.
Controversial, but debatable.
I think I'm right about that because this chorus is insane.
Yeah.
It's so good. The only part of the song that I don't like is the finders, keepers, losers, weepers part. But like, it doesn't bother me that much.
It's like campy.
It's campy. It's on some like Nightmare Before Christmas shit.
Yeah.
But I think it kind of serves the song a little bit.
Yeah.
And also when I think about it as a Dallanism, I'm like, okay, I like it now.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's tight.
Yeah.
And then all 12 songs on
God.
Viva Las Vengeance.
Listen, we've talked about this before.
We have, yeah.
I was optimistic about the record.
Yeah.
Just based off the singles. And it pisses me off because I listened to Don't Let the Light Go Out again recently.
Yeah. That song is good.
I might love that song, honestly.
That song is good.
I think that song is really, really good. And if he had just gone in this like sentimental, like soft rock, sort of Springsteen-esque direction the whole album, I think we could have got a really good album.
The weird like 50s rock and roll, like kind of leaning into the like throwbackisms of Death of a Bachelor. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, I agree. A lot of my problem with this record is the production.
Yeah.
I think it sounds bad. I think it was a big mistake not to tune the vocals.
Mm-hmm.
Not because Brendon Urie isn't a good singer, but because I think the only time you shouldn't tune vocals is when you are doing something extremely emotional, to where you don't want it. Like, it doesn't matter that you're hitting the note. It just, is there.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with pop production. With rock production, you can get away with it. There's an entire From First to Last record where Sonny Moore's vocals aren't tuned, and it works for that.
I don't think Paramore tuned the vocals on This Is Why either.
That's different, though. Haley Williams is like...
It's different. It's
Haley
different,
Williams
but
is a generational vocal talent.
Yeah.
Like,
it's not that like she's missing notes or anything, but it does add to the rawness of that record.
Right, yeah. Well, I'm saying for this genre...
definitely tune the vocals.
For what Brendon Urie was trying to do on this record, showcasing his vocal style, which, by the way, the song that they play after they finish playing this entire record in the middle of the set list, Girls, Girls, Boys, the vocals are incredibly tuned.
Mm-hmm.
It's the one song in this set list where I heard the tuning, which I think maybe that's just my ear now. That's just like how my ear might work with like production.
I think you just listened to Viva Las Vengeance too much, and then you like.
And then the
tapped
second I
into
heard
the
tuned
frequency.
vocals, I was like, "Fuck!"
Like, holy shit!
By the way, we're not talking about auto-tune, everybody. We're talking about pitch correction.
Yeah.
I think maybe people think we're talking about auto-tune, and I just want to clear that up.
Those
that
two
we are
things
talking
are
about pitch correction. They are very different.
Very
things.
different.
Everybody uses pitch correction. Just before you stop to be like, "Oh, my favorite singer." Yeah, they do. They absolutely do.
Just to give a little rundown on the difference between the two, for anyone who's unaware, we have a lot of musicians who listen to this podcast.
Yeah, for sure.
Just because we're friends with a lot of musicians and they listen to our podcast, so they already know, or they should already know.
Yeah.
But auto-tune is generally a style at this point. T-Pain, auto-tune. Lil Wayne, a lot of auto-tune. Like 100 Gex, so much auto-tune.
Yeah.
Based as hell, honestly. Like, it was very villainized in the early 2010s, but I think opinions kind of turned around on it. Pitch correction is going into the track and manually like moving the pitch of certain vocal parts or like certain words and shit.
Literally like by like each note, each syllable sometimes.
It's like quantizing, which if you don't know what quantizing is, it's matching a sound to be on the beat. It's like quantizing, but for pitch.
Yeah, exactly. So, and I also think the other two big differences are auto-tune is live,
Mm-hmm.
and the second you sing into it, it's correcting you in real time.
Mm-hmm.
Pitch correction is afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
So once the track is there, once you sang into it, you are going into it. And literally fucking Adele uses pitch correction. She talked about it. So
everyone uses
fuck
it.
off.
There's nothing wrong with either of those.
There's nothing wrong with either of them whatsoever. Yeah, the vocals should be tuned on Viva Las Vengeance. And the thing is like it's also long. I think is the other part is like it's only 12 songs, but you feel like each one of them.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of that has to do with like there are some songs where the key just like changes like for every part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Viva Las Vengeance, the song in particular, the verse is in a different key than the chorus, and then the bridge is in a different a secret third key.
Mm-hmm. Which I actually like that song, honestly.
I think that song's all right. But it is like very jarring, and it feels like not a lot of thought was put into the songwriting of just like, I wrote this part, now this part, now this part.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the way it's produced, there are no dynamics whatsoever.
Yeah. It's exhausting to listen to.
I think could be interesting if, a band said, we're pulling back, we're not going to do all these production tricks and stuff like that. I don't think it works here at all.
Mm-hmm.
The quiet moments are the same volume as all the loud moments.
Mm-hmm. It's brick walled to shit. The whole thing.
Yeah, the whole thing is just so brick walled. I feel like I'm fucking just like the problem with these songs is like for the venues that he's playing, these songs do not make sense in those fucking venues at all. And I'm not just talking about the production. I'm talking about like the way they're written. They're not like huge jams.
Mm-hmm.
They're like 3 p.m. Music Midtown songs.
Yeah,
like that you see some band called like the Donkey Heads at the fucking Ponce de Leon stage.
The Donkey Heads.
I don't know, something.
That does sound like a 3 p.m. on a Sunday.
Exactly,
kind of band.
Exactly, and that's what every song on this record is. I don't hate Viva Las Vengeance. I don't hate Don't Let the Light Go Out. Local God is unfortunately catchy.
Mm-hmm. Something else about Local God, the way you were talking about how Brendon might not want to go back to those old songs because he feels guilty. Local God is like the biggest support to that argument that you could ask for.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Like it is, for those who don't know, the whole conceit of that song is Brendon basically saying to Ryan Ross, you have it better than I do.
Which is insane.
Honestly, like it's one of the
funniest things ever.
One of the most compelling moments on this whole album.
It's
just
hilarious,
because it's like, holy shit, dude. Like I feel really bad for you.
Yeah. Okay, so let's get past Viva Las Vengeance because I could talk about it for a very long time because I have a lot of problems with it.
Yeah. First 4 songs, either mid to like. Rest of the album, complete ass.
You liked Middle of a Breakup. I do not.
I think the lyrics kind of suck, but it's a fun tune.
Fully married man. I don't know who he's having makeup sex with.
That's
like
the other thing. Yeah.
Like I guess of course you don't have to like write your life into every song. I don't do that, but like, what?
Yeah.
What are you doing, buddy?
Yeah, it gives similar energy to like MGK fucking writing about class, and he's 30 years old. Like, brother, come on now. But hey,
yeah,
yeah,
it's all good.
I first heard Middle of a Breakup when I was still optimistic about the record, so maybe that's still just
could have been like some rose-colored glasses.
Yeah,
I got you.
Entirely possible.
So immediately after they play this whole 12-song record in the middle of their set list, they play Girls, Girls, Boys.
Banger.
The bisexual anthem.
Banger. Hardly know
her. This is another situation where I think the chorus is the weakest part of this song.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the second half of the chorus, the never did I think that like, I don't think that part's bad. It is like it's like a cool instrumental. it sounds kind of like Block Party a little bit, like a watered down version of Block Party. Which, you know, if you don't know, that was Paramore's biggest influence for This Is Why. So, like it's kind of like that type of jam. I don't think this song needs to be played live. Like, I just don't think it's a good live song.
It's like, I mean, and I get why he does, because it was a single and it was kind of a big hit. But and like, honestly, the bass line on the song kind of goes crazy.
It does kind of go crazy. I would agree with that. Yeah.
But as a live song, it's like, I don't know what you would do to this song.
Exactly.
You just kind of gotta stand there, and like it's
you dance
not
like this.
Yeah, and
I'm peanuts dancing for anybody that can't see.
For our audio listeners and video listeners, because we don't have any cameras.
Yeah.
But it's you just kind of gotta stand there, and it's not really like you just kind of stand there and bob your head or peanut dance a little bit.
Yeah.
Because it's not impressive enough on any front to warrant it being played live on that level.
Yeah, I agree.
So it's just kind of when you think about it like that, it's not really that great of a live song. It's still a good song in general, but you know, for this kind of set list where it's like supposed to be kind of happy, fun time, dance around with your friends and shit like that. I don't know what you do to this song.
Yeah, I don't know. You know what? You know what would be? You know what would be great in its place? What? I was thinking this earlier. Fucking Nicotine.
Yeah,
that song is sick. That song
Nicotine is kind of a
nasty.
It's kind of a controversial one for some reason, but I like it.
I like that song.
I like that song.
Casual Affair, the fucking Portishead ripoff
Casual
song.
Affair goes crazy live.
What a good song.
I've seen like videos of him playing that song live.
I was grounded for that tour.
Damn.
I couldn't go.
Damn.
It bums me out.
Fucked up.
Yeah. Okay. What was fucking after that?
After
I believe
Girls,
House
Girls,
of Memories.
Which did that song like blow up recently?
It blew up
something?
on TikTok. Yeah. It blew up on TikTok. I believe it was a sped up version.
He put out a sped up version.
But I think the sped up version was what blew up on TikTok.
Yeah,
so.
He put out a sped up version like a couple months ago, which was
it was like
so
right
weird.
Before the Viva Las Vengeance rollout.
Mm-hmm.
So
no, I think it was like, let me double check this.
Yeah.
Because it was like confusingly.
I don't want to have corrections next episode.
Yeah,
the panic community coming after us.
Honestly, what's how much of them is left?
Dude, that's what I'm saying is like not much. Like this record was bad to a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
I think most of the fan base. I might have to phone a friend and get Mary Mahoney in here. Famous TikTok star Mary Mahoney, who had a TikTok about Viva Las Vengeance blow up.
Good Lord. So it was right after Viva Las Vengeance came out, which was in August 2022, and then the House of Memories little remix EP came out October 2022.
Okay.
Which has House of Memories and then House of Memories sped up version and then slowed down version.
I don't know which one blew up, but it was one of the two.
Yeah, it's.
I think that song sucks.
I agree.
I think that song is like one of the worst cuts on Death of a Bachelor. It is such a nothing song.
There's nothing happening in that song.
That's another one where I had a feeling Dallin was not involved in the writing of that one.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm right. I think the two that Dallin had no involvement on that record was that one, and Rivers Cuomo wrote Victorious. So
also sucks.
Yeah, that song is terrible. Yeah. We'll get to that though. House of Memories blows.
Mm-hmm.
They had never played it until this tour. They didn't even play it on the Death of a Bachelor tour, and they were playing most of that record. I saw them on that record. Unfortunately, the set list was actually not half bad for that tour.
Well, because Pray for the Wicked and Viva Las Vengeance
were not out yet. Yeah. So they still had to play like the only difference between Martyrdom and Suicide is press coverage and stuff.
Do you think they played House of Memories faster at the live
That'd
set?
Be funny.
That'd be really funny.
I bet. Okay, so the way from all the live videos I saw, the way that this worked was they like they had like a big old interlude in between like everything. And my guess is, just knowing Brendon Urie's corny ass, there's no way they didn't reference House of Memories blowing up on TikTok.
Yeah.
They probably played the sped up and slowed down version for like a brief second.
Yeah.
And then they went into it. You know what I mean?
Imagine.
Yeah, the song sucks, dude.
Anyone who was there, if you're listening, tell us what happened for House of Memories and also the whole set.
Yeah.
Give us the lowdown.
Mm-hmm.
But after House of Memories is 9 p.m, which a blessed oasis.
Gosh. You know what? After two songs I dislike a lot, I did not really enjoy it. I'm not gonna lie.
Really?
I was like, oh man,
You're
I'm like not having a good time right now.
I fucking love 9 p.m.
It's such a good song. I was like addicted to that song last summer for a minute, where it was kind of the only thing I could listen to.
Mm-hmm.
Because it is an unreal song. It is so good.
Also, if you guys hear any breathing and like shit,
I don't think she's picking up on the mic.
She might, but if it just in case, I got a dog next to me, Sadie. Shout out Sadie. She's so precious.
9 p.m, like you said, an oasis. It was just like nothing was offending me.
Yeah.
At this point of the listen, I think I enjoyed it the first time. I think the second time I was like, okay, almost done. I can't enjoy this.
Get me out of here.
Fuck. Death of a Bachelor. I don't like this song, but I also don't hate it.
I like it.
Okay. It's certainly not the worst song on Death of a Bachelor.
Yeah.
The worst song on Death of a Bachelor is Crazy Equals Genius. That is, what a terrible track.
I'm trying to remember all the songs on that album. See if I agree. That is definitely down there.
Yeah.
Oh, Golden Days is the worst one.
Oh, I don't even remember Golden Days.
It's so bad. It's so bad.
Well, we'll circle back. And then I Write Sins Not Tragedies. We covered this before.
Banger.
Brendon does not want to play it. He doesn't care at all. At this point, I don't know what would make him care about a fever you can't sweat out song.
Maybe if it blew up on TikTok.
Possibly. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure, like, that's the thing is, like, A Fever You Can't Sweat Out is such a classic record that no matter what song they play from it, everyone's going to know every word.
Yeah.
There's not a single person that is at that show that has never listened to A Fever You Can't Sweat Out before.
Yeah.
So, like,
I would hope.
I would hope. Maybe there is. That would really bum me out and also make me feel fucking old. But, yeah, it's funny to look at and just be like, all right, well, this is the one song from your debut record.
Yeah.
Still your most popular
record.
record.
Put you on the map.
The one that put you on the fucking map. The probably the only one that gets like rock radio play too.
Yeah.
Because I would hear this like on the fucking like station where they play Godsmack and stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Sadie's really
Sadie really
Sadie, goodness. Sadie is a very large golden retriever that my mom has. I'm house sitting for my mom right now, so we're having some fun.
Big eyebrows.
She does have big eyebrows. After I Write Sins.
Why are you making these noises?
Sadie. Oh my goodness.
She's so silly.
After I Write Sins, Victorious and High Hopes. Goddamn.
Terrible songs.
I think these are like bottom of the barrel.
Victorious only works in the context of being played as like buffer music for football radio.
Not even. I mean, I don't even think it works for that.
I think
it works for like a Target commercial and maybe an Old Navy commercial.
An Old Navy commercial.
Old Navy likes to rock.
Might be
out,
too extreme
so.
for Old Navy, honestly.
It might be. Yeah, Victorious is a rough one.
Yeah.
And knowing Rivers Cuomo wrote it, I mean, there are
Doesn't
many
help.
reasons why Rivers Cuomo should be in prison forever. But
Most of those reasons lie in the lyrical content on Pinkerton. Even though that record is really good,
I mean,
go to jail.
well, I mean, I'll
Not like
fully stick
literally,
him in
but-
horny jail for that.
Yeah,
But like, he should go to jail for Victorious.
yeah.
Prison. Even.
Prison.
His
Death
skeleton.
row.
His skeleton should serve a prison sentence.
Death row for Victorious.
Yeah, that song sucks. Anyway, yeah, so I'm gonna end this by just reading the set list I saw on the Vices and Virtues tour. All right.
Mhm.
That's how we're gonna end this. Ready to go, get me out of my mind. Banger set intro.
Mhm.
But it's better if you do immediately after that. The Ballad of Mona Lisa.
Damn.
Immediately after that. Lying is the most fun a girl can have without taking her clothes off.
Damn.
Trade Mistakes. Kamisado. Come On with Fun.
They
First
brought
time
out
they ever
fun.
played it.
That's
They
crazy.
brought out fun for it. Hurricane. The only difference between martyrdom and suicide is press coverage.
Mhm.
Let's Kill Tonight. Always. 9 in the Afternoon. That Green Gentleman. Memories. I Write Sins Not Tragedies. Encore. Carry On My Wayward Son.
What the fuck?
And Nearly Wishes.
Good Lord.
I'm very comforted at the idea that I saw this band at the best time to see this band.
That's such
So,
a good set list.
it was pretty fucking good.
Holy shit. That Green Gentleman? Oh my god.
What a good song, dude.
Oh my god.
What a banger.
What a fucking good
Yeah,
song.
we might have to start another Panic Side podcast. Although
Honestly.
that's a situation where there is more bad than good.
Yeah.
In IMO.
Yeah.
Okay, so
So speaking of
Our
podcasts
podcasts.
and bands, did you guys know that this is a Fall Out Boy podcast?
yeah, that's why they subscribed. That's why they clicked on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long were we talking about that set list?
Ooh, a long time.
A long time.
I think, an hour and 4 minutes. So this might have to be a two-parter, honestly, or it's
Well,
just a really long.
We'll see what
fourth
happens.
episode.
We'll see what happens. But
Yeah.
back to the topic of today. So you might have been intrigued by our reaction to finding out that this song was what we had to talk about
Yeah.
at the end of last episode. Most notably by Carson just going insane and me
Yeah.
being really confused.
Well, so, there are some Panic songs that I literally haven't heard. Like, I haven't heard all of Pray for the Wicked. Like, I just haven't listened to it.
Understandable.
I refuse to.
Yeah.
Golden Days. I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about.
It's on Death of a Bachelor.
I'm sure it is. I don't not believe you, but
Mhm.
also it sounds fake.
Yeah.
I am intimately familiar with literally every Fall Out Boy song.
Mhm.
So here we are talking about one of the worst ones, I will say. And this one's not so bad where I have like, the reason why we just did all that Panic talk is because I have nearly nothing to say about this song other
Yeah.
than it fucking stinks. What do you have?
There's only one thing. You're gonna hate this. One correction.
Oh shit.
One correction.
We're back in corrections?
This is because it wasn't relevant to the Panic section.
Oh yeah.
But the last episode you said this song was a Mania B-side.
Oh fuck.
It is actually a American Beauty, American Psycho B-side.
Oh, that's even worse almost.
Yeah, honestly. So that's the only thing.
Okay. Well,
and-
that's not as bad as I thought it was.
No, but and then the other thing, it's not a correction, it's just a fun fact. Joe insisted that they revisit it, which is how it ended up on Believers Never Die too.
No.
And I don't know why he did that to us.
Okay, so I do have more than just saying this song sucks about it. I think this is the most guitar that is on any song on Mania or American Beauty, American Psycho.
Yeah, that's probably fair.
I don't know what's up with this song though. This is one where it feels like
Nothing happens.
I don't know if you have this with Bummer,
Uh-huh.
but sometimes Dan and I will spend a whole day on a song, and then we'll just be like, well, it's good we got that out of our systems. Never coming out. That song sucks. All those riffs are kind of garbage. I'm glad we did it because we got that out of our system. But like, I'd like to think for a band that is not very far along, we like have a pretty good filter on what gets released and what doesn't get released, and what like is gotten rid of at the cutting room floor, right? Yeah. Leave this one in the drafts.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
What's it doing out here?
I shouldn't hear this.
We should not know that this exists.
The way this song made me feel, I was embarrassed just to show my friend Tom Lovejoy, because he was like, he's a listener of the show. Mm-hmm. Quick shout out, love you, Tom. Tom was like, I didn't see what song. Like, I haven't finished the West Coast Smoker episode. I didn't see which song you guys spun for. Uh-huh. I was like, oh, dude, it sucks. And he didn't even know what I was talking about. And I pulled it up, and he was like, whoa. So, Tom's kind of a mania truther too.
Really?
I do want to have him on. I hope we get a Mania song when he's on, or maybe if we spin for one, I'll be like, hey, come on the show.
To be a Mania truther and to still hate this song is kind of nuts.
Well, okay.
Because this song, for me, this song isn't terribly far removed from Mania, even though it's not from the same sessions. It's like, because you like hating it so much and thinking it's like just the fucking worst.
I think it's their worst song. Like, I'm not even kidding.
That's crazy to me because I don't get anything from this song. Like, I don't like it. I don't really hate it. It's just like kind of a nothing song. I listened to it like 5 times on the way over here. I still don't know how it goes. It's like, it's just such an impressive void of a song.
That's interesting.
There's nothing to it. And I was thinking about it as I was listening to it and the chorus hit. I was like, this feels like it should be way bigger than it is.
Interesting.
This feels like it should be like kind of anthemic, or like it should like open up a little bit, but it's just kind of at the same energy that it has been the whole song. And it got me thinking, like, what the fuck are you doing?
My dog is going crazy.
Sadie is
she's
rolling
all right.
Around on the
she's
ground.
A crazy gal.
But it got me thinking, like, what's something else that does have a big chorus that like opens up and like does it really well? And you know what my mind drifted to? Mm-hmm. Fireflies by Owl City.
Damn.
And
okay,
I listened to that song a couple times after listening to Bob Dylan. Then I went back to Bob Dylan, and I was like, yeah, I just
hang on.
Holy shit.
Sadie.
What are you doing? I don't even know if y'all can hear that. She's causing a fucking ruckus. Sadie, come back over. I'll touch you. Come over here.
She's got the zoomies, I think. She's too big of a dog to have the zoomies.
Yeah.
Oh, you're very sweet with her. Yeah. In what way is this song like Fireflies? Run that back for me.
It's the way that it isn't, but I feel it tries to be. So hear me out. Fireflies is like something I found I really like in music is tension and release.
Of course.
Which is part of why I like Black Country New Road so much, because they're fantastic at that.
They're so good at it. Yeah.
Post rock in general is just really good with tension and release. And Fireflies is also pretty good at that. It starts out with this like kind of ditzy little cute little verse, and then once it gets to the chorus, it's like muted.
Sure.
I know, right? There's Sadie's agreeing with me. It's like there's like a high pass on it or a low pass. I never remember which one is which.
Yeah.
But it's like it's muted, and then it goes back into the verse, which makes the chorus, when it opens up, it's like this.
It's huge. Yeah.
It's huge. It's this like compressed, fucking gigantic chorus.
Yeah.
And it's there's just something about it. It's fucking magical.
It's dope.
It's
Yeah.
it's a
so
magical song,
Yeah.
I think. And the Bob Dylan, it like it's not exactly trying to be Fireflies, but I do feel like it's trying to have somewhat somewhat of a larger chorus, and it just it doesn't feel any bigger than the verses, which
Yeah.
which like doesn't contribute to uh feeling like the song has progressed in any way,
Right.
which
Yeah.
also makes the fake out towards the end of the song when you feel like it's about to end and then they launch right back into the chorus.
Dude, I got so excited because I thought it was over.
Every
time.
I listened to it, I was like, oh, it's
I was
over.
like, finally, fuck. Maybe
And then
it's
they
not
hit
that
the
bad.
chorus again.
And then they hit it again.
And like that is just one of the limpest impacts they could have. Because
I think Joe wanted to revisit this because he thought that if it got released, the band would die. Because this song sucks.
I think maybe Joe wanted to release it because there was actual guitars on it.
Yeah, no, that is one thing where it's like, it's very clear, like live guitars. And like, honestly, the picking pattern in the chorus is like kind of difficult. It's like a gallop type thing, which is
Yeah.
interesting.
Shame that it sucks, but
It's a shame that it blows. Yeah. Yeah, I really did not like this. I think that I don't even really know whether or not to count it. They did release it. It is an officially released song. And there are songs on the wheel that are literally not officially released that we have from like leaks and stuff. But
so we should probably count it then.
So that's the thing, is like, to me, like this song is so bad that I don't want to count it. Because if I count it, that means
you're dignifying it.
It
as
is
part of
their
the
worst song.
discography.
Yes. Which I actually think their like worst album song will get there, but it's not what you think it is. So, ooh,
Oh.
Yeah. Just we'll do this real quick. Dawson, what do we have on song meetings for this one?
Nothing. Not a
But
goddamn
it's logged,
thing.
right? Like you can pull up a page.
You can pull up
right?
the lyrics for it.
Okay.
But nobody has commented on it.
Next week, I want to see y'all comment on this shit.
There is nothing.
You guys got to go comment on it.
Yeah, go
Please.
to songmeanings.com and look up Bob Dylan by Fall Out Boy and comment what you think the meaning is. Because there's nothing there. Probably because the meaning of the song is
The schlong.
The schlong is pretty shallow.
Yeah.
Personally.
I mean, I get it, you know? Like I get what's going on.
I know what they're talking about, honestly.
Yeah. Would you bury me next to Johnny Cash? I'm obsessed.
Would you bury me next to Johnny Cash? No. I will not. Personally, I don't think I will. But I appreciate you asking. Me as your best friend, Patrick Stump, I really appreciate you asking me, but I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, so just going on the Fall Out Boy subreddit real quick. There's not a lot of love for this one.
No.
But there's more love than I thought there would be. And I say that because every time I log on to the Fall Out Boy subreddit and like type in something, there are people defending pretty much everything.
Mm-hmm.
One of the top posts related to Bob Dylan is a very sad post that said Hella Mega Tour, which was the tour they did with Weezer and Green Day.
Mm-hmm.
Hella Mega Tour. No dear future self or Bob Dylan. So,
why would they play this?
I loved going to the Hella Mega Tour last night. I got to hear my favorite song, A Little Less 16 Candles, live. My only complaint is them not playing Dear Future Self or Bob Dylan live, since that is their only new songs they haven't performed on tour.
Well,
there's a reason.
First off, it sucks. But considering most of their post-hiatus output, that doesn't really matter to them.
Yeah.
No. But second off, it's a B-side put on the Believers Never Die Part 2 compilation. I don't know why they would play it live, personally.
Yeah. This person who has now deleted their Reddit account because it seems like a lot of comments were deleted off this post. Why is their spelled wrong new song Bob Dylan so underrated? I am so glad Joe fought to put it out because I personally love the song. Please no hate. Everyone has different tastes. And I think they got slaughtered. So,
which they're right. Everyone has different tastes.
Everyone has different tastes.
Part of this podcast is predicated on different tastes. But
I'd love to know what a a stan that we know, a stan that we can talk to, thinks of this song.
I would like to know what somebody likes about this song.
That's what I'm getting at. Is like you say it's nothing. I think that the levels of cheesiness, I'm not even the one that wrote the song, right? And I feel naked that it's released.
Yeah.
I feel like everybody saw me stark naked and my hands were duct taped to the ceiling, so everybody saw everything. You know what I mean? It's a weird example, very specific, but
yeah, has this happened to you before?
All the time. It is rough. I think if we're saying worst release song, this is my dead last at the moment. And this podcast is going to take us 2.5 years. So it might change, but
subscribe.
Yeah, please subscribe. We're following through with it too.
Yeah.
Listen, one time my father told me I had no follow through, and it stuck with me ever since. I'm following through on this.
We're gonna prove Carson's dad wrong.
Yeah, he didn't listen this far. There is one noteworthy thing regarding this song, which is there is a music video for this song. For some fucking reason. It looks like they put $5 into it because it's all animated and the colors aren't some of it's just not colored in, which is very funny.
Nice.
Hand drawn animation. The character that there's a main character, our main the protagonist, if you will. He's trying to call a girl named Stardust in the video.
Hold on a second.
Yeah. Very, very strange. Very weird.
How long have they been writing this record?
It's a good question. The only thing I can come up with is that they've had the song title, or maybe they've had the song So Much for Stardust itself done for a while. From what I understand, So Much for Stardust was a collection of songs that Joe was yo, we got to put these out. These are really good. And who gives a shit if we don't have a big fucking, sports hit. Yeah, I don't have much else to say other than the Genius annotations for this one are so asinine that it's for example, the opening lyric, which by the way, I think this is worse than lyrics on Mania. I did not think Mania's lyrics, I didn't think you could get worse than that as far as Pete Wentz lyrics go. These are way worse. They blow Mania out of the water. But the Genius annotations, the first line, when they say "you and what army," the Genius annotation is "you and what army" is an old American saying which implies that the threat made is a weak one, or saying the person is not capable of what they are saying. And then in the chorus,
there's a Harry Potter gif attached to it, which is super cool.
That's dope. Then in the chorus, the opening line, "because everyone loves Bob Dylan," which, when you don't say it like Patrick says it, with the inflections and stuff, sounds very fucking stupid. So, because everyone loves Bob Dylan, I want you to just guess what the Genius annotation is.
This line is referring to the universal acclaim that Bob Dylan has.
You're dumb it down more.
What?
It's just Bob Dylan is a famous American singer-songwriter.
No fucking dude.
Well, there's more to it than that, but like I'm not reading that deep into it.
Machine Gun Kelly is a famous American musician, but you can't say
Singer-songwriter.
everyone loves Machine Gun Kelly.
Well, I mean, there's too many syllables for that.
True. Yeah.
Everyone loves Machine Gun Kelly. It doesn't work.
It doesn't work. By the way, if any of you guys heard Sadie whining, don't worry. I am actively petting her.
Yes. She gets this way with everybody.
She is...
Once you leave, she's gonna be all over me. So, no big deal.
No big deal. Whatever, dude.
She's like, this is a side note, but like for those of you who have not met my dog, which I assume is most, but she's like bigger than most golden retrievers.
She's very large.
She's huge. She's like a horse.
Tremendous dog.
She's a very, very big dog.
And not that she's like fat or anything.
Not at all. She's just large.
Big dog.
Yeah. She was like the biggest of her litter. And then she's like I'm not even kidding. She could eat her mom. Like,
Damn.
It's crazy. She's huge. She's a big dog.
Yeah.
Anyway, I have nothing else to say about this fucking song.
Yeah, me neither. It's there's just not a lot to say about it. I mean,
yeah.
I would like to know why someone would like it, because it's like there's just nothing to it. Like, the lyrics are super generic. The instrumental ain't much better.
Yeah.
And like the vocal performance is fine, but only because Patrick isn't like blowing out your ears by over singing it. Which
I want whatever Joe's smoking.
Yeah, Joe.
What's going on there, man?
Future guest of the pod, Joe.
Joe Troman.
Future guest of the pod.
Of the members of Fall Out Boy, I feel like he is the most likely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know their personality types that well.
Oh, well, you got the bad boy. You got the quiet one.
Do they follow those archetypes?
No, I don't think they do. The other day we were trying to figure out if Dowboys follows those. And I mean,
do you?
I think so. I haven't figured out who everyone is though.
Gotcha.
I think I'm the bad boy though. Which is a problem.
It's always kind of
Dan might be the bad boy.
I think Dan's a bad boy.
Yeah.
Cuz like if you call yourself the bad boy, you're probably not the bad boy.
Yeah. I'm the Boy Scout in actuality. So that sucks.
Boy Scout.
All right. Are you ready to spin, or did you have anything on this?
It's strong 3 to a light 4 out of 10.
Oh yeah, we have to rank it. Fuck.
We do have to give it a
1.
rating.
I literally cannot imagine me disliking something more than this song. I cannot I'm thinking about the songs on Mania, and like,
and you're not conjuring up the same.
No,
hate. That's
no. Crazy. And it could be because Tom Lovejoy, who I mentioned earlier, was like kind of defending Mania and was like, "Last of the Real Ones is one of the best songs they've ever written." And I was like,
we got to get him on for that episode.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I listened to it and I was like, this song is not half bad.
Really?
Like, if this song was like a one-off single and it was like, this is the only time we're ever doing this sound, which never happens. But if that's what it was, I'd be like, this is actually kind of fine, you know?
Yeah.
But like, I literally, after listening to this a few times, just like did like a quick skim of Mania's track listing, and also American Beauty, American Psychos. I literally can't find a song that I dislike more than this one, and that may change during the course of the show. But holy fuck, I hated this song. I like really, really hate it.
It ain't good.
I feel bad. I feel like a hater. I feel like a big hater.
It is hater week.
It is hater week. That's right. 1 out of 10 for me. 3 out of 10 for you?
I'm between a 3 and a 4. I don't do half scores because that's pussy shit. I only do half scores if we're on a 5-point scale, but I use a 10-point scale.
We basically gave him a Patreon episode this week.
Yeah.
This is so long. This is like an hour and a half. I think we have some pre-roll beforehand, but I don't think it's going to be that much.
Yeah. So let's wrap it up. Let's spin the wheel, figure out what we're talking about next time. Thank you all for sticking around, listening to this episode, this long-ass episode about Panic at the Disco and some of Fall Out Boy.
I think that speaks just to how bad this song was. That like, I was just like, can we please talk about this worst thing you made me do? Which you did not make me do it. I did do it willingly because we had not decided that we were doing it. You spun last week, so I guess I'm going to spin this week.
Is that recording? Cool? Yeah, that's
cool. Oh, shit, you're right. Well, I need to take Bob Dylan out of the fucking thing.
Yeah.
So let me do that.
And while we're waiting on that, quick reminder, just follow us on social media. At The Dreaded Wheel on Twitter for the podcast, and then at Callous Dowboys for the Callous Dowboys, and at Bummerhill ATL, both of those on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Those are Carson and I's bands. And then at the Callous Dowboys on Instagram, and at Bummerhill on Instagram.
March 20th, Underground Atlanta.
March 20th is Bummerhill's next show, and then Callous Dowboys are performing at South by Southwest. So if you're fortunate enough to be able to go to that, go see them.
Yeah, if you have $1,000.
If you have $1,000,
I think you can buy individual tickets for our show still. I don't think it's sold out just yet, but it's close. So, and I mean, this will come out on Friday, so you literally have one day to buy a ticket.
Yeah.
So it might be sold out by then. But
who knows?
We just announced a tour, so
who knows? Yeah, with Hazing Over.
With Hazing Over.
That's gonna be cool as well.
PogChamp band.
PogChamp band. Shout out Hazing Over for real.
I just want to give everybody like, because like I know I'm the one that like, I know I'm the one like this podcast was my idea and everything, and I know like I'm me. I'm a big personality. I'm loud. I'm rambunctious.
Big Carson.
And that's the funny thing is like I don't even drink anymor or like do like hard drugs anymore. So
this is all pure,
so
100% uncut Carson.
Yeah. So you can imagine what I was like back then. But I know I'm a big personality. I just want to give everybody some wholesome Dawson personality content. Was because we were recording at my mom's place because I'm house sitting. And I was like, are you okay with dogs? And Dawson, in real life, not on recording, said, dogs are pretty PogChamp.
Well, it's true.
So if you're wondering why Dawson is like one of my favorite people in the world, you can take that. Well, so I've removed Bob Dylan from the wheel.
Dogs are pretty PogChamp.
This dog is very PogChamp.
This dog is super PogChamp.
I'm gonna spin. Are you cool with that? Are you cool with me spinning?
You recording?
I am as of now.
All right. Let's go.
All right, folks. Spinning
the wheel. The wheel is spinning. I don't know what this is.
This is a Mania song. Oh. Ladies and gentlemen, next week we will be doing Sunshine Riptide. Oh, 2 stinkers in a row. But now we know it's not you. Now we know that I can have stinkers too. So it's okay.
That's a relief. That's a relief. I didn't want to be the stinker generator of the podcast.
I was not ready for 2 stinkers in a row.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
All right. Thank you, everybody.
Next time we won't talk about Panic at the Disco for an hour and a half. I hope.
Yeah. No. I mean, special episode. Special 4th episode.
Special funny episode.
Special very silly episode. Yeah. All right.
Bye,
everybody.